All right, I think I'm live. All right, guys. Hello, James here. Welcome to our teacher entrepreneur interview. Today we're gonna be interviewing David, and I hope you guys are gonna like this interview. So we're gonna talk about testimonials and then Google reviews, and of course, David's experience so far with his business. So I can see a few people already watching right now. So if you can let me know where you are watching the live interview right now, and are you can you hear me and see me okay? So we are broadcasting this interview to Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube at the same time. If you can let me know if there's any technical issues, we can fix it before we get started, okay? And feel free to comment and let us know. All right, let me check. And then in the meantime, I'll check these platforms too. Okay, so we have people on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and YouTube, I believe. All right, so anyone, now feel free to comment, okay? Let us know if you can hear me and see me okay. All right. Okay, yeah, okay. Shanda commented on LinkedIn, ready to listen. Thank you. On LinkedIn. All right, I'm not seeing any comments, but no, definitely let us know if there's any problem with the platforms. Okay, so before we get started, and I have David on the back, so I'm gonna bring him to the stream. So before that, I want to quickly introduce myself in case this is your first time watching this interview. So my name is James Wu. I run a business, Always Strategy, with my partners, and we work with teachers. We help teachers earn what they're worth, and by running their online business, getting students, making passive income, selling courses, running memberships. We do a lot of different things to help teachers monetize their expertise and turn their experience expertise into revenue, into income, and digital assets that can help them earn more. That's really what we do at Bowie Strategy. And we have these interviews usually once a month. Sometimes we skip a few months if we are busy. We use these interviews to invite some of our teachers in our community to share their experience, and mostly just to inspire other teachers in the community to take action to see what is possible, because if other teachers doing it and you can do the same. That's really the message we're trying to pass to our audience, to our community, to teachers that have been following us. So another thing I want to quickly share is that we also have other events, okay, other events that we do very frequently in our community. So I'm gonna share a screen with you guys. I'll share the link with you too. So we have events events all the time every month, and if you don't want to miss any of the events or the recordings, I recommend that you can bookmark this link. I will send this link to you. Bookmark this homepage. This is where we publish all the events we run monthly. Or you can, once you get to this page, you can also subscribe to our calendar. So you click on the link here, you actually add to calendar, then you're gonna add our monthly event calendar to your calendar, whether it's Google Calendar, Apple Calendar. There are quite a few options, and then when we update this calendar with the future events, it will show up on your calendar. Just make sure you don't miss any of these events in the future. Okay, and the highlight of this month in February, I really want to talk about this Teacher Success Online Summit. So there's a two-day virtual event we're running this month. We have a panelist, we have guest speakers, myself and my partner Steffi. We have a lot of sessions in 2 days, on February 19 to February 20, which is about 2 months from now. Oh no, 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now. So it's a free event that are available for teachers in our community. You just need to click on the link here, and then you will be able to register, and you receive the Zoom link if you have time to go live with us, join the live session. or you're going to receive recordings if you have to miss it because you're not available. We're going to send you a recording after the event. Okay, so you just need to click on the button here and it will take you to the registration link, registration page. And there are a lot of things we're going to cover in this online summit. We're going to talk about how you're going to start your business, how you're going to scale and advance your business. We cover quite a big range, whether you are new to teaching online or you are experienced in teaching online. There are always things about strategy, mindset, tech, and neuro language coaching and teaching, a lot of different things included. I'm not going to bore you with all the details. You can actually read them on this registration page. All right. So don't worry if you don't have time. I know people are busy. You can always just come here and register, and you will receive the recordings. You cannot join us. Okay. And this is a session we're running right now with David. As you can see, right, if you have to miss part of the interview, you can click on any of the links on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. You're able to watch them. And another recurring event I wanted to comment on very quickly is Teacher Mindset Matters, hosted by Steffi bi-weekly every Wednesday. You can also add this event to your calendar if you want. And so the next one is, let me see here. So the next one gonna be in 2 weeks. I believe Steffi just had one this today. Okay, and you can watch them on YouTube. You can also listen to Steffi's podcast. Okay, if you are interested in working on your mindset, which is a big problem. Okay, that's all I want to share. I will share the link with you in just a minute. Follow us and join this event when you can. Okay, that's all I want to share so far. All right, I'm gonna just remove this screen sharing here, and feel free to comment. I saw a comment from David. Let's do this. Any other people, if you want to comment, let us know. You can hear us and see us okay. And also, if you have questions, don't wait. You can just comment, okay, and leave the question for us. All right, now I'm gonna just bring David to the live now. Hey, David, how are you today?
Hi, good morning, James. I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Yeah, it's your turn now, okay? Why don't you introduce yourself to the audience and let us know who you are, what you do.
All right, sounds good. Well, my name is David El Profe, what all my students call me. So I went to college for international business, Spanish and marketing. Never really intended to go into teaching, but throughout my experiences of living abroad, I lived in places like Chile, Ecuador, Argentina, Spain. I've traveled all over the place to Asia as well. I always found I had a deep passion for talking to people from other backgrounds, sharing my story, and just thought it was so much fun navigating those cross-cultural communication situations. So I just kind of kept doing it. When I got back from living in Argentina, my Spanish professors invited me to start tutoring. So tutors essentially kind of fix what's broken. And I had really good success with my students. Spanish wasn't easy for me to learn, so I had a different way of looking at things, and I was able to explain what they were getting confused about. So my students had a lot of fun with that and definitely improved their grades. When I graduated, I actually went into business. I worked in sales and marketing at a startup software company, which was okay. I made a whole lot of money, but I didn't really like it. And on the side, I kept teaching Spanish just because I really liked it. Interestingly enough, at that software company, I got exposed to the way they build their software, which is through agile software development. And when the time was right, I left that company and I started my own language school. And I was thinking about the way they built those software products and decided to apply it to building products, lesson plans, and a curriculum. So I use what's called agile curriculum development, which is a really interactive way of creating lesson plans where you're constantly getting feedback from your students and changing it based off of what they're looking for. And the result of that is I created one of Denver's top language schools from 2012 up until the pandemic. We were thriving. Eventually had to shut down for our physical operations in person because of the pandemic here in Denver. Schools weren't allowed to operate in person anymore. I went into some hard times after that. I spent the next couple of years trying to figure out how to make it work. I wish I would have met you back then, James, but I didn't know a service like this was available. So in 2023, I decided to completely walk away. I went back into business. I did a few consulting projects with some companies that were looking to expand their reach into the Hispanic community here. And again, I found that the money was great, but I was not happy with what I was doing. I always felt like there was a big void in my life. So back in 2024, I got a job at a local university here in one of their ESL programs. And over the summer break, when I didn't have classes, that's when I started talking to you last summer, and we kind of bounced around a few ideas. And I started, I was initially looking at trying to sell my program to other teachers, and you led me to think that the best move would be to revitalize my own teaching practice. I was hesitant to do it. I didn't really want to do it. I was scared because of everything I'd been through with the pandemic and stuff like that. But I followed your advice. And since then, I successfully built my business back up to, I've got about 65 students right now. I quit the university job last year. It was just having a program admin that didn't agree with what I was doing in the classroom. And it's just so liberating to be back on my own and doing things. This is my home classroom here. I do classes online. I've created a kind of a hybrid membership option. And yeah, business is thriving. I'm so happy and so grateful for joining Boway and getting all the one-on-one from James and being in the Teachers Academy.
Thank you very much, David. I appreciate that you shared the story here. And I think one of the things a lot of teachers gonna be very resonating with was what happened in the COVID, right? And I've talked to a lot of teachers who used to teach in person or had have a language school like you, so they got really kind of impacted by COVID. But now things are getting better, and I really hope more success with your business. Okay, so thanks for sharing all that. And we got quite a few more teachers joining us right now. And Tony said she's already reaching out and asking for testimonials, and she's got great responses. I think that's the topic we're gonna be talking about today, like testimonials, and why I chose this topic to discuss with David was because while we're working together, and I was kind of impressed by how many results he's able to get in such a short period of time, like a few months and 60 students. I tried to dive into it, and I really found that the testimonials and David Scott on Google reviews while he was doing this language school has really helped a lot with his business progress. And I know maybe not a lot of teachers have a lot of testimonials, but I hope this interview can inspire you to pay more attention to collect testimonials, because if you came from a classroom teacher background, probably don't appreciate this enough, because you don't need testimonials, right, to be a classroom teacher. But running a business is so essential to have testimony to build social proof, because people don't know you and people don't have to work with you, and why they pick you, right? So we're gonna talk a lot about that. So now we're gonna just kind of start the first topic of our start is getting testimonials, right? So as I mentioned, just because when we are running online businesses, we are getting in touch with the people who don't really know you, right? I don't know you. I've never heard about you. You just showed up on social media. Just send me an email. Why should I trust you? Of course, you can educate them. You can share a lot of things, but the thing is, they always gonna have this suspicion, right, and the concerns and the risks to invest, to work with you. having testimonials, seeing how other people like commenting on your business, on your work, how they enjoy working with you, gonna give them kind of peace of mind, like moving forward with you. So that's kind of how I think why it's important. I'll just pass to David. I know you being like intentionally collect testimonials. That means you really think this important. So why you think it's important to teachers, to independent teachers especially?
Sure. Well, testimonials are extremely important these days for a variety of reasons. I think I really got into them, back in the 2010 to 2020 period, because back then it was all about having a website and you had to invest in SEO, search engine optimization.
Yeah.
And Google kept changing their algorithm. And so every single year you had to essentially redo your website and pay somebody $5,000 to $10,000. And it was like this never ending cycle of spending money to get your website to show up. Well, at some point, I contracted with a company that was an expert in Google and helped me build up my Google business profile. And I noticed something when I started getting testimonials, I started getting more phone calls. And the reason why is that their algorithm, I think, plays more importance on testimonials than it does on SEO anymore. So I haven't spent money on SEO in probably 10 years. But when you search for English classes in Denver, I'm one of the top results. I show up #1 on their map because I have the most reviews, the most 5-star reviews here in the city of Denver. So that's one thing, is it just helps Google's algorithm find you when people are looking for your type of service. I think the other thing is that you have to build up trust with people. And it's like you were saying, James, there's a number of companies in schools. I mean, there's dozens of places where you can go to learn a language just here in the city of Denver. But I notice a huge difference when I'm talking to a prospective student on the phone that's read my testimonials and students that are just calling around and, asking for prices, right? So somebody that hasn't read my testimonials, the first question they say is, how much do you charge, right? How much does it cost? Whereas if I get students that have read my testimonials, they say, hey, I saw you're the best school in Denver. You've got all these 5-star reviews. I read what your students say, that you're patient and you explain things in a way you can understand. They're getting real results. So it just completely changes the dynamic of a conversation. I no longer have to sell my classes. And it just makes it very easy for people to sign up for me. I've even had students tell me that they've waited 3 years to study with me because every time they come, my classes are full.
Yeah.
I'm working with a guy from Argentina right now that said, I read everywhere else. I don't care about anything else except for studying with you. I'm convinced you're going to be the person to help me. And he's been with me for a few months now. So
I guess to be fair, if I were to buy anything from anyone that I don't know, I think the first thing I do is really do a good research on them, right? So and that's actually that's everything I do. If I try to find something on Amazon, I'll take a look at the reviews, right?
yeah.
This is very common, and same thing for students who are looking for teachers who are looking to like invest in themselves. So testimonial can be very, very important. So I think that is very easy to understand in testimonials. If you are not paying enough attention to testimonials, start doing it now. I think a better part, I think most teachers gonna benefit from will be what are the best practices to collect testimonials. Everyone knows I need to get more testimonials, right? But I think there are things they can do better with to improve the results to get more testimonials. So what do you usually do, David? Like, what are things you did you feel like that gets you more testimonials than other things you do?
Yeah. Well, I can't stress the importance of having a good niche. Like, you're always teaching everybody. You have to do something that's different, that really makes your service stand out. And when you focus in on a particular area of teaching, in my situation, I decided a long time ago to specifically teach English to native Spanish speakers. I think there's a huge market. I speak Spanish. I'm able to explain things to them. And that enables me to provide them with an extremely exceptional service where they come in, they feel respected. It's a really warm and friendly environment. They understand what they're learning, and very quickly they start getting a lot of confidence when they're speaking their new language. The riches are in the niches. You have to decide on a very good area of focus to make yourself stand out. The second thing I mentioned earlier, I got exposed to that agile curriculum development. So I have created a product and a service that students just love, and it's constantly getting better. I'm of the mindset that I can always do something better. No matter how good it is, I can always do it even better. And so I constantly go back and I review my programs based off of the interactions with my students, and I make it even better for the next class. So when you have a really good program that students love, they're going to be much more amenable to giving you a testimonial. If students aren't happy, if you have low retention rates and students are disappearing, reaching out and asking for a 5-star review is probably not going to get you a 5-star review if your students aren't happy. So super important to have a really good program and provide an exceptional service for your students. I think the next thing is timing. A lot of the experts out there say you should always ask for a testimonial right away. Think about the last time you went to a restaurant. You probably got a text message asking for a 5-star review. Well, I don't know if you've actually earned that 5-star review yet. I think I have to earn the 5-star review. So I usually wait until my students have accomplished some sort of big milestone before I ask them for a review. So typically that's at the end of a course. If they've finished one full course with me, I'll ask them for a review. And or sometimes if they just mention something in class, like, I can't believe it, but my boss asked me, I'm a cook at my restaurant, and my boss asked me to take orders at the cash register yesterday, and I was able to do it. I was really nervous, but I did it. So I'm listening for those types of moments or epiphanies where they're like, wow, this is actually working. And so then I'll coach them on how to do it in class. I'll specifically ask them for a 5-star review, and I'll tell them, to try to mention, what they liked about the classes, why did they decide to contact me in the first place, if they can show any positive results or specific results since studying with me. So yeah, I think that's really important. I also, at the same time, I always tell them, hey, if you don't think I deserve a 5-star review, then let's have a conversation. Let me know what I can do to earn that 5-star review. And that seems to build up a lot of trust because they get it. I say, hey, I'm a teacher. I'm here to help you. But if I'm not helping you, I want to know what I can do better next time. Nobody's ever told me anything different, but
I like that. I like the last part. So just to quickly summarize and have a few more to add here as well. So I think number one, David mentioned, is the quality of your service, right? You need to deserve, right? You need to earn it. It's not like you just spend money buying reviews. We don't do that, right? You have to earn it. Have a good service. Number two is the timing. I like what you said. Is just be cautious about, or really be careful when to ask, especially when they got some achievements, right? That's the moment they feel really happy, like the results. I think that's the time more likely they're gonna leave your review because they're so happy and they're appreciative for what you have helped them. Number three, I actually like this part very much. I've never thought about this. Okay, if they don't want to give you a review, that's also good feedback, right? Or, just reach out, say, hey, let's have a chat, and let me have another session with you to see what I can do, right? What I didn't do well. I think that's also you're taking responsibility of the results. If they don't think you deserve a 5-star review, then there must be a reason. So let's figure it out. That's great. Before I share a few comments from my side, I just want to read what Tony's comment here. I think it's related to why testimonial is important. And then one thing we didn't mention, and that Tony said here, gonna be very helpful, is the testimonials are good confidence boosters too, right? So I think that's very important when you first started teaching, especially a niche, new group of students, or just first time teaching your private students, right? If you can get some testimonials, that's a good feedback. That's a very positive feedback, and that give you confidence. I like what you said there, Tony. Definitely 100% agree with you. Okay, so then a few more things like best practices to get testimonials. In addition to what David has shared, so number one, I think, is also we want to make it as simple as possible for students to leave testimonials. Okay, and I found sometimes a lot of teachers ask a lot of things to let their student give testimonials. Then you increase the friction, like you make it harder for them. And if you ask them to leave testimonial, let's say I'll just send you a link, and then they click on it, they can leave testimonials on Google review, make things so much easier for them. They are more likely to do it, right? If you ask them to register somewhere and then they have to get a phone code, or a lot of things they have to do in order to leave a testimonial, they're less likely to do it. And also you want to give them options. Some people might not want to leave you a LinkedIn recommendation because they don't want to let their colleagues see that testimonial they give you. Maybe then you just don't ask them to leave a LinkedIn recommendation. Just give them other options. You can send me email. You can let me know. I can post on my website, or you can just write me something. I'll take a screenshot. Right? There are a lot of things you can do. Just give them flexibility. Again, reduce the friction. Okay, friction. In terms of streamline the process to leave a testimonial and give them more options. Not just a LinkedIn testimony, not just Google reviews. Yeah, if they don't feel comfortable doing all these, hey, you can also do this, right? Because there are many ways to collect testimonials. And one thing I forgot to mention, so stay to the end, guys, if you're watching live right now, because I'm going to share a training with you. I put together about how to best collect testimonials. Okay, I'm going to share that training with you at the end. Stay to the end of the interview if you can. Okay, if you can. All right. So this is the part about best practices. Why we need testimonials and what the best practices. Share with David a few more from me. I guess I want to next I want to move on to Google reviews. Okay, honestly, I'm not very experienced with Google reviews, and I would love to do more about Google reviews. And you've done it. You've been doing it for a long time. So let's say specifically about Google reviews. So anything you want to comment on here, David? Anything like you can share with us? Your experience with Google reviews and other best practice setting up or incurring Google reviews. Anything you want to add there?
Yeah. So if you don't have a Google business profile yet, you need to go out and create one as soon as possible. It's free. It does take time to get up and running, so it's not just going to be overnight. And then you want to go through and fill out all your information on Google. It's essentially like having a website. You put the same information into Google. You can choose your products, you can choose your services, and all that stuff is going into their Google algorithms and helping you show up in the search better. Once you get it set up, I think it used to be called Google My Business. I think they've integrated now with Google Maps. So you actually go through Google Maps to do this now. Just look it up online and you'll figure out how to add your business to it. I don't think you have to have a website anymore. And I don't even think you have to list your address anymore. I list my address on it. But I think you can also just choose the city that you serve and it'll show up that way as well. But be as detailed as possible. There are people out there that kind of specialize in setting this stuff up for you. I think back when I did it, I was paying the service like $99 a month to do this for me. So I thought it was very worth it. So, work with an expert, work with someone that knows what they're doing. It's so much easier and better when you go with someone that knows what they're doing versus trying to do all this stuff on your own. But then, yeah, after you have your Google business profile, you'll get a link that you can use and direct it to people. And it's like what James says, you want to reduce the friction. So when I'm in class and I tell somebody, or I ask somebody for a review, I follow up with a text message with the specific link. And I also remind them specifically what type of information is good to leave in that testimonial. And yeah, start, don't be shy to ask people. A lot of people aren't just going to go out there and do this on their own. Most of my reviews have come from me specifically asking somebody for a review. So don't just imagine that people are going to go out there and do it without being asked to do it.
Yeah. And another question people might have, of course, no, I'm not seeing a lot of questions. Either we are making everything so clear, you don't have any questions, or you haven't asked. Then please ask your questions if you have. You just comment. Let us know. We are broadcasting to YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook right now. I'm monitoring this platform at the same time, just in case we miss any of the comments. Let us know. Zenji, hello Zenji, everything's clear. Okay. Awesome, right? So another question, I actually had that question. I just looked up online, but I just want to confirm with you, David. Do you know if they need to register the business? So a lot of teachers, when they first start their business, they don't actually register the business, meaning that it's not kind of legit. I mean, it's not official business. Do you know if they need that? I Googled it and it says you don't need to. Just want to confirm with you.
I don't think you do if you're talking about in terms of like officially incorporating
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Secretary of State and getting an LLC or an S Corp designation or something like that. Of course, I recommend doing that for all kinds of tax and business purposes. But for registering with Google, I don't think you need that.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So if you even haven't incorporated your business, you can already use Google Review if you want to, and it's free, right? It's a free. You don't have to pay Google. Yeah, it's free. I think the downside would be, this happened to us before. Somebody, they might attack you, like you don't even know. Maybe your competitors or somebody just don't like you, whatever. So they might attack you, and you don't have a control over these reviews. But the good thing, though, even on our so tell us the other websites, we do have I think 2 1-star reviews. Like the teachers just not happy. It's fine. I think that's also give you opportunity to explain. So you actually can see. I like that actually. So these 1-star reviews, they give you a very short comment. I really know whatever. So they will give a very long paragraph explaining. I think that means that you can explain your situation, which is fine. But I'm saying that that's one of the things because people actually can spend money buying things like that and get people to really attack you. But
It
that's
happens. Yeah, I've got a little bit of experience with that.
okay, that's
It
good.
stings, if you look at my reviews, I have 4.9 out of 5. There's a couple of 1-star reviews in there. And as a business person, you can't make everybody happy. So just try not to take it personal. And if you ever get a bad review, try to look at it to see if you can turn it into an opportunity. With Google, it's really nice because as the business owner, you have the chance to respond. So you want to respond to all your reviews, your good reviews and your bad reviews. I've certainly had people that have given me a bad review that never studied with me just because during the intake qualification process, I determined that they weren't going to be a good fit for my school. Or they live too far away or something like that. And then, they get angry and go and leave a bad review for you. So take it as an opportunity to respond in a very professional manner. Always be humble. Think about, the famous words of Dale Carnegie, there's no winners in an argument. There's only 2 losers. So never make it confrontational. Use it as an opportunity to share your side of the story and explain what happened from your point of view. I had one bad review where I'll completely admit it. It was my fault. I was in a really bad mood and I didn't have a good phone call with somebody and he gave me a 1-star review. I reached back out to him. I offered him a free month of classes, and I think he accepted, and he bumped it up to a 4-star review. So just because you get a 1-star review, it's not the end of the world. It stings. It doesn't feel good when you get it, but try to put your emotions aside and turn it into an opportunity.
Exactly. Turn into opportunity and be professional with it. And actually, people are going to be suspicious if you have, let's say, you have hundreds review all 5 stars. I think that's just not possible, right? So to many people's mind, this is not possible. So there's a question for us, David, from Tony. David works with Spanish-speaking community, speaks Spanish. I work with many languages and countries. Do you recommend that students write a review in English or their native language? What would you say, David?
I would say it's up to the student, a personal preference. You know, if they're a very beginner level English student, they might not feel comfortable writing it in English. And also you have to understand that they're probably looking for the service in their native language. So if they speak French and they're looking up classes, you know, English classes in French, it's going to be more beneficial actually that they write the review in French. At the end of the day, Google translates everything anyway, so I don't think that matters so much. I would say whatever the student feels most comfortable doing.
Yeah, I like what you said. So it's about friction again. So you want to reduce the friction, whatever, you know, however they feel comfortable, let them do it. And I think let them write in their native language is more likely they can be more genuine with the review, because I'm not a native speaker. If I write my testimonial in English, and I feel like maybe there's some differences as well with my native language, yeah, definitely, you know, reduce the friction, right? Get them to do it. Thank you for that question, Tony, and everyone else. If you have questions, we have 17 teachers watching live right now. And I think there are a few more from LinkedIn. So if you have questions, put in the chat and let us know. All right. So very quickly, one training I'm gonna share with you guys at the end of the interview. This training, collect testimonials. There's a video to watch. In the training, actually talk about different types of reviews, and when to collect, how to collect reviews, and I even have templates, you know, what we can write to your students. So that's another thing. If you can create a template or some instructions or guidance, make it easier for your student to write it. And there's even AI ChatGPT prompt they can use to create templates for your students, just to help them. They might not use it, but kind of get them started. As another part of the training. I will share this one with you at the end. We have one last part to talk about. So far we've been talking about, you know, why testimonials, how that help, right? And Tony also mentioned of confidence, which is important in addition to, you know, getting strong social proof and build trust. And then we also talk about the best practices, collecting testimonials, and David also shared a few things about Google reviews, which is kind of a new to us and to many teachers out there. The last part I want to talk about in this interview will be you know, how to use the testimonials. Okay, let's say you collect testimonials on Google reviews, you have testimonials on LinkedIn recommendation or on your website. You don't want them to stay there and let people see and find out themselves. You want to use them in your business, in your marketing. All right. So what are the things that we can follow, right, to leverage the reviews in a very positive way, but not, you know, in a negative way, right? So I'll let you talk about that, David. So what do you do? Like, you have these testimonials and the reviews, right? What are the things you usually do to use the testimonial to help with your business growth?
For sure. So one thing I always do every time I get a new review is I'll take a screenshot of it, and then I'll write a post and then put it to my Facebook page, my LinkedIn page. You can take a picture and put it to TikTok if you're using TikTok. And so that's just another way to get free publicity and get the word out there. And, you know, students and prospective students are watching you online. So they're seeing that activity other students like, and they comment on that. And sometimes I'll have students that respond to one of my Facebook posts about a Google review I got saying, yeah, you're the best teacher. And I say, oh, would you mind going and putting me a review? And then I get another review out of it, right? So it can have a multiplier effect. Another thing that actually James recommended I do is to create a dedicated landing page on my website dedicated to my reviews. And I've even integrated some videos of, interviewing my students. So I've put together a landing page that has a combination of my Google reviews as well as live interviews with my students. And I've put it in to my customer service process. So the students that have contacted me will get a text message with a link to that review, and they'll go click it and they'll see it, and then they'll respond to it and say, okay, yeah, I wasn't sure, but yeah, wow, those are some compelling videos. So yeah, I think I better sign up with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So a few things on top of what you said so far, David. So how to use testimonials? Number one, whenever you get one, you want to share it. Okay, share it with your audience, and just like what David is doing, whenever you get one, and make a post or take a screenshot and share it. But some teachers, I can understand why they don't feel very comfortable doing this all the time, is they don't want to brag about it. They don't want to use it to market their business. So it's about mindset, also about positioning. Like if David already shared a testimony with us on So Tell Us. So if I were to post about it, I'm not gonna use that testimony to brag. Oh, see how great we are. We helped David get 60 students in a few months. No, that is not the right way, and it's not gonna help you. And you want to position your client, your students, as a hero. See how David worked hard and fix things and get the 60 students in a few months. Great job. I'm so happy for you. Keep going, right? So the client, the students is the hero, and you want to position them. And the post is about congratulating them on the results. Is you feel so happy about the results. That is the positioning. Okay, once you shift your mindset, and that is the better way to post about it, you're gonna feel better. You're gonna feel more motivated to share that with the people. And the other thing is, a lot of people can get inspired by the story. Let's say you guys watching this interview today, we want to inspire you to think more about testimonials, the reviews, shift your mindset and get more testimonials and grow your business. And then that's why we do it. And the same thing, when you post about it, you want to inspire. So that's number one.
And I would add there, James, that when I post to social media, I don't do it from the perspective of bragging. I use it from a perspective of humility and gratitude. So I always take the time to show my sincere appreciation for the student. So it's just a tiny little mindset shift. I'm not bragging. I'm appreciating people and showing students how grateful I am for the opportunity.
Exactly. I appreciate that too. Yeah, definitely. I think that's the right way to see the testimonials when you use them. And the second part, as David mentioned, of course, when you get testimonials or reviews, you want to post about it to let people know, show your appreciation, congrats them. And of course, it markets your business, right? Build more social proof, and it's more active. You don't just update your website, then hoping somebody can find out themselves, right? Be more active and proactive with this testimonial to help you grow your business. The second part also related to what David shared, how you can incorporate these testimonials into your sales process. All right. A lot of times people reach out to you and either call you, have a Zoom call with you, have a sales session with you, or just like a message you. They just want to know what you do, and then they might have objections, and they're not ready to invest because they don't trust you enough. And then you can share the testimony with them. Okay, don't worry about it. And I have a few reviews, teach students similar to your situation. If you want to take a look, just to help you understand what I do and how I helped other students like you, right? And people look at these reviews, they feel, oh, right. They have more kind of confidence in working with you, right? So how you can incorporate that? Usually what happens is like what David does, if somebody call you, somebody reach out to you, they're not ready to buy and then you can use these testimonials. And for some of the teachers, no, they do sales sessions, right? So somebody book a call. No, even before the call, you wanted to send them testimonials. Hey, David, hey, before we are meeting next Monday, I just have a few things I want to share with you. Here, the link with some students work with me and share their experience with our business. I would love you to watch them and just to kind of see if they're a good fit. If you feel good about our business, you can always share that. And then what happens is you actually warm them up, right? So they book a call. Maybe they're like a cold stranger, and if they watch these reviews, they already kind of know a lot about what you do, and then it's gonna be easier for you to kind of close in the call in the strategy session. Okay, these are two things. Usually, what you do with the testimonials, right? Market it and use it every time you got one, and not just use it every time you got one. And no, if you don't frequently get one, you can recycle all these posts. Now, make sure you post something about your business, your testimonial, every week or every other week or at least every month. So you can recycle that and also incorporating a sales process to help you convert. Okay. So I don't know anything else you want to add here about how to use testimonials, David. And if you guys have questions, I don't see a lot of questions. I guess we are very clear with everything. But if you have questions or takeaways or just feedback, share in the comment. David, do you have anything to add?
No, I think that's pretty comprehensive so far. I can't think of anything else that I want to add, other than don't be scared to if you're stepping out of a traditional classroom to run your own business. You're a teacher, but you're also an entrepreneur, and you have to take risks. You have to put yourself out there. And just don't be scared. It's like what I tell my students all the time when they're learning how to speak English. Like, you got to go talk to people. You're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. It's all part of the process. Have fun with it. And when you get those good 5-star reviews, you're going to be very glad that you did.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that. And you get a lot of confidence out of these testimonials. You're actually making impacts on people's lives, right? That's important. Deanne, Rena, if you guys have questions, share in the chat. So Rena just
I'll share another interesting time when I'll ask for reviews. So I'm a person. I have good days and I have bad days. One of my favorite times to ask for a review is if I'm having a bad day for whatever reason. I have family problems. I have business problems. I get into a fight with, my son or something like that. I'll go out and I'll send a text message to my students, and I get 5-star reviews like that, and I'm back in a good mood again. So
I could have done the same, but when I have bad days, I actually look at the reviews. I did ask for just to review the reviews to give you like a boost, like confidence. Oh, you are doing the right thing. Just a bad day, something didn't work out, but you are doing this right thing. Looking at hundreds of reviews you got, right, you are making a difference here. I like what you said there too, and I'm sharing the link with you guys right now. Okay. So the first link I shared is testimonial training. If you click on the link, you will receive a training about testimonials. I hope that's going to help you. And also sharing a link to the online summit. If you haven't registered to the online summit, let me do this. I'll share the screen one more time. Okay. Share the screen one more time. Okay, so just the first link I shared is this training, collect testimonials. I already showed you guys a little bit. The second link, I'm gonna take you to this homepage. All right, homepage, bookmark it if you don't want to miss any of the events we host in the future. And one thing I didn't mention is all the previous events. You can actually watch the recording or request the free training. The recording. So I think all the events that we want to highlight since December 2023. So it's been over a year now we've been using this website. So not only just the future events, all the previous events, you will be able to watch recordings and request recordings, okay? So this online events, is one more time, click on this link. I can share this link with you too. If you haven't registered, register it, and we're gonna have this summit on February 19 to February 20, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time. Don't worry if you don't have time to join. Some of you have to work during the day. It's fine. Register anyways to receive the recording. Okay, recording. Let me share the summit link with you guys. And if you have more questions, please ask in the chat. We can stay here for another maybe 2 minutes to answer some questions you have.
It looks like there's a question from Diane. Would it be right to link the testimonial of a student with one of the achievements of the student? I'm not 100% sure what you're asking for there, but I would assume that would be fine. So like you could, if you get a 5-star review from a student, and let's say they just finished a course and you gave them a certificate and you take a picture with the student, then yeah, absolutely link that testimonial to that picture of the student's accomplishment.
Absolutely. And if you want, you can even just tell the students when the students write the testimonials, just hey, would it be great if you can highlight that achievement you got while working together with me? Just kind of mention that, then they will mention it. You can have the testimonial already includes the achievement, but also like what David said, totally fine if you want to link it yourself. All right, so do you guys have more questions? More questions about testimonials, Google reviews, or anything about David, his business, or questions for me? We can stay here for another minute to wrap up and answer questions. So while we're waiting for more questions, David, anything else you want to share? No, I know you had your own business, you have your own language school. I think that made things much easier for you to make the transition to online and really get back on track with your business. So thinking about teachers who struggling, right, with classroom teaching or online teaching, independent teaching, and the things are not getting better for them if they're relying on companies, schools, and others. So
yeah.
What do you think about like starting a business?
Join the Teachers Academy. Join some one-on-one sessions with James. Get some coaching. Don't do this alone. I did this by myself for many years. I built up a school, and I was no longer by myself. But I didn't have someone like James in my corner. I had signed up for some other kind of marketing service, but it wasn't focused on a language school. And, we have very unique challenges being part of because we're educational. We're in the education industry, but we're also business. We have to make money. We have to do all the things that businesses do, but it's different. In my personal situation, I'm competing against schools that teach English for free. There's a lot of nonprofits in the area, and it's very challenging selling something for $100 when they can go next door and get it for free, right? So I think that's where the niche marketing comes in, being able to show how different you are. I really enjoyed being part of the teachers community for all the different training modules. I always knew the importance of social media. I just didn't know exactly what to do. So I've learned a lot. And my LinkedIn and Facebook accounts are just exploding since I've started implementing all of this stuff. And I really enjoy interacting. There's a forum you can interact with other students, and we've started some other challenges among ourselves. I've made some connections with teachers from around the world. So it really helps. I feel now that I'm part of a community. I've looked in all the wrong places. You would think, joining organizations like TESOL International or IATEFL or COAB or any of these other organizations that are dedicated to language learning. But I always just found such resistance. They're more geared towards kind of universities and K through 12, and they don't like different in those places. They don't like niche idea, So I always found a lot of resistance, but coming in and being a part of the Teachers Academy in Bowway community has just been a tremendous boost in my confidence. Having somebody that I can bounce ideas off of. I was thinking one thing, James said, no, that's not what you want to do. Of course, you have to listen to the advice, but I listened to it. I took a leap of faith, and it's 6 months later. I actually, Steffi has a video in the mindset module. I think it's the first milestone in the Teachers Academy, where she says, write down your C-type goal. And I wrote down, this is back in probably November, I wrote down my C-type. My goal was to be making $10,000 a month by March 2025. And I hit that last month. So I actually hit it 2 months early.
Wow.
I've benefited from the mindset videos, from the marketing, from everything. So yeah, I think it's worth it. You got to balance your budget and stuff like that. But if you want to go out on your own, if you want to get out of the classroom, don't do it by yourself. Sign up with James in the Teachers Academy, and go through it with other people that are doing it. Learn from their experiences, build that community with like-minded people, and it's going to be a big help for you.
I appreciate that.
A lot faster, better.
Yeah, appreciate that, David. And about Teacher Academy, we're actually going to open for enrollment this month after this online summit. If you guys are interested, stay on our email list, and we'll send you emails about the Teacher Academy. Okay. And there are 2 questions very quickly. Does David sell teaching material to teachers now, or was that in the past? Tony, yes, I think David has a lot of materials, and he's actually selling materials if teachers find interesting. So David, do you mind if I share your Facebook profile with people, so if they want to contact you? Is that okay with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I do have a Teachers Pay Teachers store where I sell my lesson plans in the form of PowerPoint presentations, so you can just download it and you don't have to do any preparation. There are accompanying student workbooks that I've published on Amazon. So here's one of my books. This is the very first level of English. So this is the student workbook that students would use to practice outside of class. So yeah, that I would love to work with anybody and help anybody else understand how to do some of the stuff that we're doing here.
Yeah. Send a friend request to David or message him if you are interested in learning more about his business, what he sells, and also if you want to get feedback on what you do from him. One last question before we wrap up, Jemima. So how to post a review from a platform such as Preply? So you can just take a screenshot, right? Then you post as a picture, and the Preply has these 5 stars and very nice layout. You just take a screenshot and post about it. And you can, if you're on LinkedIn, let's say, you can even feature it. If you are on Facebook, you can feature these screenshots, right? On Instagram, you can turn them into stories and archive the stories. There are many places you can do to take a screenshot. It's very easy. Okay. All right, David. Thank you very much again for your time. I really appreciate it. I think this interview gonna inspire so many teachers to think about their business. If they're new, get started. If they're experienced, how can you leverage testimonials to grow your business? Okay.
Yeah, well, it's been an honor. Thank you for thinking of me and inviting me, and I'm really grateful for all the work that we've done, and this is just the beginning. I'm looking forward to see where we go together.
Absolutely. We're gonna definitely have another interview in a year or so when you hit the next milestone. I'll invite you back and talk to our community and inspire even more teachers. Okay. Thank you very much, David, and thanks everyone for showing up today, joining us in this interview. I hope you learned something, you found it inspiring, you found it helpful, and definitely connect with us and follow us. Join our online summit if you haven't, and get this training I shared in the chat. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Take care. Have a good one. Have a good rest of the day and a week. And thank you again, David. I'll see you soon. Okay.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Take care, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.